internet. No. There, it's letting you know that this hot cam session's about to start. Get ready, YouTube. First, no. There it is.
Cam boys.
There's that fry that we all love.
This is what you came for.
We know what you're not gooning, baiting, tongue out, sickos. Porn Twitter has made me aware that there are just a lot of sickos out there. A lot. How is Twitter free? You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of material. There's a lot of pornography on. There's a lot of pornography on the old twits. Yeah.
I did sometimes. I really respect the people who just show like a 3-second clip of their dick being tugged and then save the rest for the OnlyFans. Make people buy it.
Are you an OnlyFans buyer? Do you do that? I'm not paying $5.99 to watch you jerk off. Although I do have to say they are really kind of stepping up their pussies with the OnlyFans. There's a lot of just like
good quality pussy
content. Yeah,
good quality homemade.
You know what? I want a director, and I'm not necessarily sold on movies where the actors are the directors either. So, like, get me another set of eyes in there. That's like, you're not moaning loud enough.
I haven't trusted an actor director since Mel Gibson had his racist meltdown on the side of a street. So I prefer to keep those two. I feel like it's too much power. It makes you become anti-Semitic.
I mean, I think about Shishi LaRue. I think about Shishi LaRue as a director in porn. Like, she'll be like screaming from the other room, "Fuck harder, louder!" And I'm like, yeah, you watch a Shishi LaRue production and you see they are acting.
Well, it just goes to show you never trust a drag queen's taste in porn because it will be very drag queen centric. But yes, shout out to Shishi LaRue, or as I should say, stay in the back, you bitch.
I tell you about the time that I did cocaine with Shishi LaRue in the dressing room of Charlie's Country Western gay bar in Chicago, Illinois. She came back. This was when she was not sober. So, and she came back.
What was your first tip off? The cocaine?
Well, when I met her at the back to bring her to the back, and the first thing she did was hand me a big old bag of blow. So I was outside the bathroom snorting blow as she was standing up and pissing in a toilet. So I've never been really right after hearing people pee after that, because it was like it was like you know how sometimes how people pee different, like guys, like it's how like they sound different.
Yeah. Like there's heavy stream, there's light stream.
Yeah.
And starts.
This seemed heavy but slow. And so it was and I mean, luckily, I had enough time to do 2 bumps in each nostril, so it was like that. Because
maybe you were so sped up on the drugs that you were thinking that the stream was too slow because you wanted to get back into the back to the bit. So you were like, hurry up with this slow stream.
I think I was working, so I don't think I was in a rush to get back. I wasn't in drag.
Oh God,
I was not in drag.
You were just hanging out at Charlie's.
Yeah, I think I was like working
doing
at Charlie's. I think I was
Gphh with Gphh. Oh, Charlie's. I wasn't even. Oh, not.
You ever been to Charlie's in Chicago?
But for a second, I was thinking the Lucky Horseshoe. For a second.
No, but I have some stories about some drag queens and Lucky Horseshoe too. But I won't. I will not until they're dead. I don't know why I felt so comfortable sharing the shishi, piss, and cocaine story.
I can't believe you led with it.
The thing is, though, if you haven't done cocaine with Shishi LaRue, then you were not really a faggot. All right. So like, I'm just saying, she's sober now and thriving. So like, but listen, I don't think that a cool bitch should have to lose that identity because they have decided to live healthier. That's an icon.
Has she lost that label, or are we just saying she has because she stopped?
Tell you, don't know. Don't know the last thing she's done. You know what I mean? Bless her, and I hope she's well.
You've just slandered her on YouTube Live, but
there's no slander there. There's not. Okay, allegedly.
There it lies.
Allegedly, that all allegedly happened. See, I can all turn it around. It's never slander. Like, my thing is if you do drugs with an icon, you should be able to share that and be like, that's a great story.
Agreed. But you know what? Not all icons are cool and chill like Chichi LaRue.
Well,
if you don't know who Chichi LaRue
we'll see,
is,
because
she's a
listen, I've done a
drag
lot of
and
drugs
porn
with some folks. So when those things get out,
well, at the end of the live stream, we'll just
I'm the coolest person to do. First of all, that happened in like 2005. So that was so long ago, allegedly, that it's like we could all be dead by now. You know what I mean? So that story is, but I'm a very fun person to do drugs with.
That's debatable.
How dare you? We've never had a bad time on drugs.
That's true. We've never had a bad time on drugs.
Do you want to have a good time doing a pod?
Sure do.
We successfully did 2 pods again. So
yeah, I have to.
This show should just be an hour long, but then we would just do another 30 minutes before that. And quite frankly, it's too much talking.
Agreed. We've done 50 minutes
Okay.
already. Yeah.
All right.
I love it.
I think it's great. I think that we're fucking spectacular. But does anyone else? 2 people are watching us right now on the YouTubes. So listen, I know it's not the 8 we're used to from the old Instagram lives, but I don't miss the Instagram lives, Casey.
I kind of do, but whatever.
Well, I don't.
A little bit of the interaction.
No.
Okay, fine.
Because this is neutral, because this is on the Gay Power Half Hour YouTube's page.
Neutral.
It was always on my Instagram. So I was like, who needs that?
Right.
I'm selfish. Oh, I'm going to count you in. Not my AARP card popping up. Not it coming on my watch. Look at that. AARP just calling me out, being like, are you trying to purchase something at a 15 or 20% discount?
Yeah, are you? Do you have AARP? How old do you need to be?
You can be any.
You're pre-AARP?
You can be any age. There are no age restrictions for the AARP. It's $15 a year and at any age. So that's the thing. You can get it. It's like Costco. Like, you don't have to be a member to shop at Costco if you get a Costco gift card.
I'm just saying, I don't know anyone. I'm just saying, I don't know anyone under the age of 40 who knows anything about it.
Well, first of all, you should if you rent cars. You rent cars, don't you? There's a discount on car rentals.
AAA. You talk about AARP. How many A's that got?
What?
You can get AAA. You can rent cars. You can get car insurance. Then come fix your car. Is that what you're talking about? Car fixing up? We're talking about.
No, I'm talking about rentals. You get discounts on rental cars if you.
Can we start the podcast?
Yes. Well, first of all, you're the one yelling at me about my.
Looking at your arm.
Oh, I'm talking you in. I forget. That's what we're doing. Well, listen, it just popped up out of nowhere and it took me aback. You dick. Okay, so I'm just gonna go like 4, 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gay Power Half Hour, the only gay podcast on the internet that's exactly like Nancy Pelosi's husband, because we're coming at you live and drunk from California with Speaker of this house, Casey Lai, and
hi, I am Majority Leader Tony Soto.
Love that for you. You are
nothing sadder than an old man alcoholic. Is this man wrestling with alcoholism? Do we know?
I mean, I don't appreciate this. I think that he's earned enough money and prestige and power in his life by having a lot of that from the beginning to get to the point of his age where he can drive from a vineyard in fucking wine country back to his mansion somewhere without being pestered after several Sauvignon Blancs.
Okay.
He looks like a Cabernet Sauvignon kind
of me. First of all, she looked like Harrison Ford does when he flies. She looked like she was woken up. That's what she looked like. She looked like the cop was like on the window. That's what she looked like. Like, oh, hello. Oh, I'm sorry. I just parked for 1 second because of all these Sauvignon Blancs.
Well, he got into an accident. He hit someone. Or that was the that
Was
was
that true? Is that the thing?
yeah. There was another party in.
Lock her up. Lock her up.
Are you
She
talking
got
about
5 days in
Pelosi?
jail. She got 5 days in jail and time served.
Yeah.
So no jail time. Lock her up.
No jail time, and look, I think I don't want to make light of drunk driving. Terrible things can happen, but are you what?
That's how I learned how to drive.
Is this drunk driving?
I honestly, I really can't comment on it without looking bad and making the mother of my child bad. But like literally, when she got too drunk, that's when I'd take over, and that's how I learned how to drive. So to this day, I don't do it anymore. But I'm saying I could. You know what I mean? Like if we were in a scenario,
right?
And we never would be. We never would be because we're responsible adults.
And we don't have cars.
If we were in a scenario where we were driving and we were at the watering hole a little too long, and the question was, "Are you okay to drive?" I'm okay to drive. I'm okay. Like I'll get us there. You know what I mean?
Been to the beach on a Saturday and had to leave and had to figure out which one of us didn't have as many Topo Chicho sparkling hard seltzers as the others. We've all been in that scenario. That being said, none of us are married to the current Speaker of the House of the
very
Congress.
Embarrassing.
I hope she slapped him across the face and said, "I have enough issues to worry about without you getting drunk in Sonoma by yourself. I'm supposed to be giving the commencement speech at Brown right now, and then I gotta get back to making sure the world doesn't fucking fall apart. And you can't hold it together for fucking one goddamn night with your friends out there."
Honestly, I bet she said,
Paul.
I bet she said, "Thank you for not doing this during Trump's administration."
True that.
I bet she wasn't that fucking, because look, he's fine. He's fine. And she addressed it quickly and said it was a private matter. So that's the thing. You can't come for Nancy. Nancy wasn't bothered when she was in the salon getting her hair done in the peak of COVID. She's like, "I am a white rich woman. I will do what I want. I will not speak on it." And so props to her. Speaking of icons, I just want to give a quick shout out to Alan Strickland Williams for commenting on our iTunes page. Wow. That's right. See, it's just that easy. All you got to do is go to the iTunes page and rate it and leave a message, and we'll fucking give you a shout out. So there we go.
Yeah, I love how speaking of
drunk icons,
take you across the country to a man born in Florida, reared there, and then broken free to get to California too, where you can have a nice tasteful drink and drive every once in a while and not be slapped across the face from your wife. And Alan, thanks for your comment. We appreciate it. And anyone else who wants to comment?
It's funny, the rest of the comment section hasn't made a single comment, but they're always commenting. I'll wake up of a morning and I'll have 175 missed text messages. I'm like, all that time to text, not any time to write a comment.
I like that we are using our podcast to come for several.
I know they'll listen. I know they'll listen. I know they listen. See, that's where you blow it. Don't tell me that you listen to my shows, because then if I have a message for you, I'll be like, "Hey," you'll get it. You'll get the message. So speaking of messages and who's not getting the message these days, are the children. Casey, the children.
Well, I used to believe the children are our future.
They're not.
I believe we have no future. So I don't know.
Have you heard about the teacher shortage that is happening in the world? So first it was baby formula, then it was vaccines for the monkeypox. We just can't seem. There was the supply chain shortage. We just can't seem to get away from shortages. But now the shortage is the educators of our future Americans.
I mean, a couple.
No one wants to be a teacher.
No one wants to be a teacher. Why the fuck would you want to be a teacher? I get it. You're a good person. In the beginning, you like kids, you like the sound of a kid's voice every morning. So you're insane, but good. You do it. I like that about you. Children are our future. Used to be our future when there was one. But now what's the point? You get paid fucking worse than driving an Uber regularly. You fucking have to do gun training to work in a kindergarten.
Yeah.
I
mean, listen, let's not get it twisted. At one point, being a teacher was a good gig. At one point, it was It was like how flying used to be bougie, how everyone used to get a hot meal. You know what I mean? Like, but it since with cuts, that's what happens when you cut, you know, and when we try to get for profit, like that's like when we start losing shit and it gets all fucking wonky. And I was saying before we started recording, like $30,000 is not enough money to tell Gen Zers and younger millennials or whatever, who have gone through shooter training every day of their lives throughout their entire school, right, like with the threat of being shot, with actual shootings. And then you're going to try to tell these kids for $30,000 go and also dodge bullets when you have stupid parents now who are like, arm the teachers. Right. Like that's not why people go into education. I'm sorry, it just isn't. And so like, but it just shocks me that everyone is shocked. I'm tired of everyone's like fake shock about the situation. Who wants to be a teacher? The stupider parents are. Like that whole mask debacle with like, I'd rather my kid be unmasked and risk infectious disease because freedom. Like, who can argue with that?
No,
who wants to argue with that?
Like all things, the pandemic, exacerbated the existing problems and made them completely unavoidable. And one of those big things is fucking no one cares about the teachers. It's also like a doctors. Like no one cares about the doctors. And these people are doing their jobs to make the world a better place, because it used to be where like we all bought into this community and trying to make this whole thing work despite our differences. And now it's just like, this person's against me because they watched the wrong news station. This person puts up a fucking flag that says like all people are fucking seen and they are fucking devil worshiping witchcrafts, you know. And it's just like, and so there's justified reason for those people to be shot in the minds of some of these fucking crazy parents. And I don't have a lot of nice things when it comes to be said for those institutions, because of how fucking like they have been just. You're right. It's the privatization of these things that makes them worse. Yeah. And also it's like, you know, you're talking about Gen Zers, this generation doesn't want to come up. And then I hear the arguments, well, everyone wants to be an influencer. You know, it's the social media's fault. No. I guarantee you, if you stopped fucking allowing guns in the country, or at least access to them so people could shoot up fucking children and their teachers with devastating regularity, I'm pretty sure more people would be open to the idea. They'd realize that they're not that cute and they're not that hot and they're not that talented. You know what? Being a teacher isn't that bad of a fucking idea. You know? But you know what? Because of the guns, I'll try my hand at Instagram influencing.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I think about it this way. It's like, people treat teachers like they're glorified babysitters. Like you drop them off for 5-6 hours or whatever. And the truth of the matter is like, it just goes that parents don't give a real shit about their kids, because it's like you can just give your kids to a fucking stranger for nothing who's making pennies. Like, here's the thing, like this whole like Beyonce revolution and know your worth and whatnot, or give what you get, you know, like that mentality. It's like, well, I'm going to put in as much work as I'm paid for. Like, here's what you didn't see, and I might be wrong, I might be stoned, but like during pandemic, like you had first responders like nurses and doctors who really came out and were like, fucking treat us like people. But then you had those nurses that were like, fuck masks, fuck all that. You know, you had that subset of nurses and health professionals who were like, question everything. You didn't see that with teachers. You didn't see you didn't see like a lot of teachers coming out and being like, fuck it. I mean, because ultimately their job has always been to keep your fucking kids safe, you losers. It's just because you can't do the same thing when they're on your watch, you fucks. Like, why would anyone want to raise your future racists? I wouldn't.
No, I get it. You know, and it's a bummer, because one of those things, like I remember all of my great teachers. I remember all the teachers who mattered to me, you know. Mr. Padilla,
me too. Out,
and I think
Mrs. Erdle, Mrs. Olson, Mrs.
Mr.
Jones,
Cashman, Mr. Basil.
You
know, and all that being said, but of all of the jobs that I think should be automated at this point, and it's I hate to say it because there's a lot of fucking teachers out there are going to lose their jobs to automation, but like there are all of these like
I don't want to be talking to no kid that learned from a computer program.
I'll tell you what, I'm learning Spanish right now from a book on the audio on Audible, and I've learned more in that scenario in that 3.5 hours so far than I did fucking in 4 years of high school. Maybe because I had the foundation already and a little bit of Duolingo, but still, I'm talking more.
Wait, you got a How to Learn Spanish Audible book? Yes. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah, What's the book? What's the book? Shout it out if it's a good book.
Paul Noble Learn to Speak Fucking Spanish or something like that.
That's
the full title.
That's a catchy title.
Well, it's trying to catch the Gen Zs, who don't give a shit about shit. And the point is that for me, I am terrified of flying, and I used to be like, how would any dumb motherfucker choose to be a flight attendant? What a terrible job. You have to put up with all these assholes, and you're flying on a death trap, hurtling through the air.
Yeah, but there were perks. They fucked all around the country.
Not only perks, flying is inherently safe. It just ends in disaster spectacularly every once in a while.
Yeah.
Teaching is just waiting for someone to bust into that fucking school with a gun. How can you not be on edge all of the time as a teacher? And,
we do have to blame social media in certain aspects because kids are way more opinionated and grand than they have ever been. I'm on the TikTok. I don't know if I ever mentioned this, the Tony Soto Show on the TikTok, but I see a lot of videos where like kids will get in teachers' faces because they feel disrespected. And I was like, look, I don't ever want a child to be abused or whatever, but I remember distinctly coming from an era where it was like, oh no, but you earn respect. Like you don't get respect for just sitting around looking like an asshole. And I feel like the youth today are that. They're looking like a lot of assholes in real life because they only know how to act in front of a front-facing camera. That's like all they're used to talking to. They don't know how to interact with one another. They text each other from right next to each other. It's like I wouldn't want to raise these little creeps either. All these little made-up stars in their own head. And trust me, I get it. I'm a 42-year-old legend in one's own mind. But bitch, not everyone is the next TikTok sensation. Fucking you dumb bitch from rural Idaho. You're not going anywhere. Start making do with where you're at.
I was walking down the the Hollywood Walk of Fame over by Mam's Chinese Theater the other day. Mm-hmm. And everything stopped because high school age Kardashian wannabes, Dua Lipas, just a gaggle of young Dua Lipas,
right.
with like crop tops and matching. And you could tell they were getting ready to do something. And then all of a sudden you realize that they were there to do like a video, like a choreographed video, and kind of not quite in the middle of the street, but like they weren't like regular street performers. They were clearly like a high school group. And as they were doing it, they were hot, and all fucking like old passerbys walking by who probably are pastors and love jerking off to young girls were psyched about it. And but in my mind I was like, if they really want to go viral, this is when a shooter should come in right now, because that would be the biggest fucking video.
Marry the two trends.
World.
Yes, everyone loves the marrying of trends. That makes sense.
It makes sense, and I hate that. That was literally my first thought.
You'll never be a parent. That's for sure.
No, I'm not, and I don't know. But also because I'm too realistic, man, and my cum is poison. And those are two reasons why.
Good reasons. Two equally good reasons.
Equally good reasons why.
Also, they can scrub your cum now, though, but it's expensive.
No, I know, but it's just a funny line. I was doing a show, and I hadn't thought about this joke in a long time, but someone was like, "Hey, I saw you a long time ago," and I didn't do really great on that show. And he's like, "You're so funny, don't worry." And I was like, "God," but he was like, "There's a joke you used to have about like kind of being like a vampire. It's like, I want to suck your dick, but be careful, my cum is poison." And I had forgotten that I wrote such a timeless joke that someone 5 years later.
It only expired in your brain. Well, speaking of cum pigs, were we
fluid? I know where you're going, and so I think speaking of fluid
pigs, can we talk about the drought here in Southern California? I think you mentioned it in passing on one of our past shows about like, or maybe it was one of our pre-show shows. I can never keep them straight these days.
I know, we do so many.
But you mentioned how the water department, the state is going to cut our water by 15%. So my best friend Luke lives in Portland. So when I was in Portland, I realized that they have a publication there where they publish all the names of the people who use excessive water in that area, and they call them the hydro hogs. Well, it seems that I think it was, I don't know what magazine it was. I want to say maybe Variety, but that could be a lie. Released an article about the top celebrity water pigs, is what I'm calling them, here in Southern California, who are like over excessively using water. It's the Kardashians, go figure.
Got it.
Kevin Hart, it's those stupid arena comedy shows, cut his check. He doesn't need so much money. Sylvester Stallone, like, how does he even still afford anything?
Well, he get residuals, and there's a lot of Rocky movies.
And Rambo. Don't forget Rambo.
He franchised twice. He
was hotter in Rambo. When that light-eyed Vietnamese girl got killed, and he took her jewel and put it on his broad, buff, glistening neck, and then tied his bandana around his head. That sent a young Tony Soto. He killed all those people.
So if even a true blue Stallone pig like Tony Soto can be calling out Sly for his water swineness, then I do think it must be bad.
But this is so.
I have a question though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do we know? Are we just talking about their home usage, or is this taking
water
into account
grass? This is like what they'd use for like home maintenance and whatnot, because that's trackable.
Well, I know, but I'm wondering, does for the Kardashians, does the amount of water it took to put out their homes when they caught fire, does that count?
Have you seen their bill? You've seen Hacks, of course.
I haven't seen the new season, actually.
Well, so the first season, you know how like she gets fish and water sent in to fill up her lake so she can fish. Yeah. And she's like, there's a line in it that's like, I pay the fine, like leave me alone. I pay. And I think it's I think it's like all they do is they just fine them. So yeah, the state makes more money, but we're still rapidly running out of water. And until they're like punished by, I bet they don't have no water reduction. I bet they have fucking full water pressure filling their big old fucking bathtubs. There's a drag queen that I know that sometimes when she comes out here to Southern California, she'll Insta story herself filling a tub in a hotel. And I just like bite my fucking tongue because I'm like, girl, not here. No one wants to see you in a tub. Don't take vanity photos of you in a tub in Southern California. That's so fucking clueless.
I mean, 100% too. But just again, with the Kardashians, imagine how much water it must take to wash off the stink of Kanye West every time you fucking hang out with him. Like he's just a lot of badness in one room at one time. And also imagine how much water it takes out to wash out that crack of Kim Kardashian's ass. It's so big. So
there was rumor that she wanted to wear the Selena dress. And
she can't have everyone's dress.
I mean, I think honestly, I feel like Selena dress, because I mean Marilyn, timeless, iconic, but I feel like Selena, you don't mess with the brown folks' idols. That's like breaking a statue of Guadalupe. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's like Kim wearing one of Dolly's dresses that God forbid she pass away in Tennessee. You know what I mean? You just don't do that shit. Like the world would be like, no. I think that Marilyn was far enough removed that it was more palatable. But Selena, I mean, her fucking crooked family father specifically, allegedly, is already still profiting off that icon.
Yeah. I mean, Yolanda Salivar is still alive, so
She sure is.
still alive.
And wait, does she have eligibility for parole?
She has the dress. You
What?
thought for a second maybe she did. No, I don't know.
But be more responsible with water, celebrities. I don't.
That's what we were talking about.
I don't understand. Yeah. The thing is because they have homes in plusher areas. That is the thing we need to understand as people who live in Southern California who don't have money. They have an exit strategy. Like they can go if their house burns up. Will they be sad? Sure, that their fucking big vapid homes are fucking burned down, but they have other places. So it's like we're still stuck here, and we're never gonna not have a water crisis here because people keep fucking moving here.
Although I don't know, were you reading about the big one not being an earthquake, but being a 20 every 20 to 40
valley.
years?
Fill it up.
Yeah,
valley. Fill it up. Fill it. Do you mean I'll be closer to a bottle of water? Fill it up. Oh, I can't wait. You mean I won't have to go up to 2 hours to Santa Monica? Great. Fresh water? Sure, I'm there. Let's do it.
It's funny. It just goes to show you that like the future, no matter what we are planning for, is gonna make us look dumb real quick, real time again. If you thought pandemics once a century were a thing, get ready for a new pandemic every decade.
I mean, for sure, and maybe too.
Droughts were bad. Watch out for mega floods.
I mean, my thing is when I heard that, I'm like, well, just be grateful for the rain, you know?
Just be nice. Honestly, I was like, what's so bad about some rain?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, first of all, it is a bowl. It's asking to be filled up with something. So,
and that's what I'm saying.
And honestly, that would save a lot of people's lungs if they couldn't live there.
Let's be real. A lot of people in fucking Los Angeles and San Francisco, one of our big issues is with housing. And that's because people refuse to build up here. We're not allowed to build up. It'll destroy the integrity of our strip mall neighborhood. And we can't do that.
That's not, we're building
up. This is why we want to build up, because of the mega floods. You're going to want to live on a higher floor. So when the major tsunamis and mega floods start happening, you can climb to safety and wait to be rescued.
I mean, if there's another reason to save your pennies to get out of the valley, that should just be an added incentive. Like the valley has fooled a lot of people that I know because people, and I feel like we might have talked about this before, but Craigslist gives you the illusion they can really help you find an apartment on Craigslist, and people will see North Hollywood written down. You know what I mean? They'll see that and they'll be like, North Hollywood, that must just be north of Hollywood, of course. Like a couple of blocks at most, people think. And so they like lock themselves into these apartments, and then they're like living in fucking North Hollywood or even deeper in and they're like, oh, my rent's $400 a month. I'm like, yeah, but no one will visit you in that beautiful place that you have. Sorry. Like, I hope you don't mind paying Lyft or if you have a car.
I always found North Hollywood to be slightly homophobic after they adopted NoHo as their nickname, because it clearly flies in the face of WeHo being one of the most recognizable gay neighborhoods in the entire world, cities even. And to call it NoHo seemed just like it was asking to be very specifically a different thing.
No homo for sure.
So that's why. Don't move to North Hollywood. 1, because you're in the fucking valley. 2, it's further away than you think. And 3, you're fucking homophobe.
Yeah, there's certain like Studio City could be cute. Like, listen, you could.
Studio City is cute. I'm going there
being closer to and there are little places close to the Red Line in North Hollywood that are cute because it's close to the Red Line. You know what I mean? And you can like go down someplace more easily. But anyway, well, listen, before we leave, because we got about 5 minutes left. We had some primaries. We're thick in primary season. We just had Florida's and New York's, 2 big things. I'm feeling more confident about November regarding Senate. Maybe I feel like I can be positive. I'm going to try to be openly positive about it. In the news recently, I mean, I just think that there's on a bigger scale, when you look at Trump-backed candidates against the liberal candidates, it's like no-brainers. You know what I mean? We have Dr. Oz who's running, and his whole campaign has been a joke from the beginning. He just looks like the whole thing is that he's a fucking tourist hanging out, trying to just like win votes that way. Like, oh look, this is where you all eat sandwiches. But he recently mocked John Fetterman, who is his competitor, because he had a stroke recently, and he was like, the big thing is Dr. Oz went to go make a charcuterie board at the local grocery store, and that was the joke that he was like, "You need a veggie plate,
Crudité.
Crudité. Thank you, crudité." And then there was no meat on there for sure. But then he said that maybe John wouldn't have had the stroke if he ate more vegetables.
So politics has a long history of people being. FDR ran without the use of his legs, and no one talked about it. Different time, of course, but there's always some like accepted thing where you don't really go after someone's health, And I just
we did about Trump. We did about Trump.
No. Of course, and it's just how Trump changed everything. Was going to be the point where how everything is.
Well, he had a doctor that both lied.
But I love that a Dr. Oz, is attacking this working class hero, even though he was supported by his parents for a long time. But whatever, his politics are right. But the point is that he was like, he wouldn't have had a heart attack if he ate more he wouldn't have had a stroke if he ate more vegetables. They are now just specific, rather than insinuating that his health is bad, they are directly attacking him for his health, and that I've actually never seen before. I've literally never seen.
And the thing is like senators and House members fucking have health issues all the time. And it's.
I want to know I don't want to know if Fetterman can do the job too, and I think that's a fair question that everyone has. And Fetterman,
but not posed in this way. That's not a question that's posed. They're posing it in a Tucker Carlson kind of way, and now he's saying that milk makes kids trans. So listen. Don't listen to those fruitcakes.
And I do want to say, I mean, I want to know if Fetterman is good. But honestly, even if Fetterman was a vegetable, I would still rather have that vegetable than any fucking Republican running. Even fucking Liz Cheney, I would rather have a Democrat, So
I'm excited to see for her. I'm excited to watch her presidential run.
No, because I was reading. I think that
she's running.
I think they need to do some really good polling on that, because if it turns out that more people, that it would hurt Biden more than it would hurt Trump, which is legitimate, that I think that we need.
Really? I don't think a lot of Democrats are like,
no, because there's a lot of fucking Democrats who think he's too old, he's too this, he's too that, he's too wishy-washy. There are a lot of Democrats who think he's too liberal.
I know, but we need to start. They need to start their
student loans right now.
What we mentioned before we even started recording is that when do we start acknowledging Biden as a successful president? Like, he's done more than Obama, and he's done more than fucking Trump, and yes, he's old. Like, can we stop beating that dead horse? We've all come to the realization that he is an old man now, but he's an old man who's still getting shit done from his desk. You know what I mean?
He's an old man who just canceled a lot of your student loans up to $20,000. And also, I mean, that's what it was like. If he inks the Iran deal, can we start talking about him as someone who is like getting the job done? Whether you agree with everything or not, he's getting a job done in a way that is
and he's making campaign promises. Like he's finally coming around. And the thing is like we have to go, but like we were all fucking, like I said, we're the internet fucking generation that like we want it immediate. We want to know how it's going to be fixed immediately. And we had just come out of a pandemic and a 4-year fucking presidency with a crook that was in office. So of course it's going to take longer but as when every time a Democrat is in office, Democratic politics work, and they show signs of working.
But they take time. You know why Republican politics work? Republican policies work
because it's
really
pushed
well?
through.
No, it is tearing down like bureaucracy and protections and things that are actually put into place to make the systems safer and more stable. Right. And so when you tear all that stuff down, of course the numbers go through the roof on the economy and everything like that, because all of a sudden everyone's jerking off and humping again, you know? And I'm sorry that jerking off and humping, as much as I love it, it's not something you can do all of the time every day if you're an economy.
And jerking off is humping is exactly how we should end a Gay Power Half Hour every week. So, Casey, tell people what you're up to.
You can catch me on the continent of Europe and in on the Isle country, no longer Europe, of England. I don't have any shows, but I will be there for the next 2.5 weeks, and I just am so emocionada de Toro. Porque
that book is doing great. What was that book again?
Hiciera un nuevo libro de español porque este libro no trabaja.
No, it's not bad. You're doing fine.
Yeah, actually, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty.
You can follow me on social media, KCW Lie, LEY. I know in Spanish that means the law, and why not? And that's about it. Tony, what are you doing?
Guys, if you like the Gay Power Half Hour, then you can always watch us on the YouTubes at the Gay Power Half Hour YouTube page. But you can also go to our iTunes page, subscribe to it, rate the show, leave a comment, like Alan did. Like, you know, like our good friend Alan. I am going to be hosting at DTLA Proud this Sunday.
Oh my God.
The 28th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. So come on out to Grant Park. We've moved from Pershing Square to Grant Park. So it's a bigger stage, I hope. I'm going to be wearing something long enough that I can wear Crocs and you can all get over it. What is that? Something else happening? No, I think that's it. But, you know, follow me on all the socials, which is Instagram, Twitter, and have I mentioned the TikTok at the Tony Soto Show on everything. And we are not going to be here for the duration of this bitch's European trip. So we're taking a hiatus, but all brand new Tony Soto Show start next week. So tune in to that. All right. We'll see you in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. Bye.
Adios.
Adios. Oh, don't say